hear him say that he's going to need their tickets. I hear him say that he's going to need their tickets. I hear him say that he's going to need their tickets. I hear him say that he's going to need their tickets. I hear him say that he's going to need their tickets. hear him say that people need to change. I hear him say that people need to change. I hear him say that people need to change. I hear him say that people need to change. I hear him say that people need to change. hear him say that people need to check it.
What's going on, everybody? It's Nick White and Jeff Wood with Desert Tech. Thank you for joining us here for our virtual SHOT Show 2021. We're excited to have you guys. We're excited to share our new products for this year and go over everything else Desert Tech related. We're treating this much like we would a SHOT Show. So we are going to be going through our product line and share updates, previous iterations of rifles and what we have on the market today, and then we will be debuting our new products for this year after that. So hang tight with us and feel free to ask questions throughout. We'll be taking pauses as we go through some of the content and answering some of those questions, and then some of you that have your questions answered will be eligible to receive free swag. So we'll be reaching out either through Facebook, YouTube, directly to you guys so that we can get some information to send you that swag after the show.
We're going to run this, like Nick said, we're going to run on this like it's just a real SHOT Show. So there's going to be a lot of mess ups and double speak and whatnot. So feel free to comment and make fun of us as you see fit.
Yeah.
So we're going to start, like Nick said, we're going to start talking with some of our traditional product stuff that you may already be aware about, but for those who don't know, we want to go over them. Like I say, we'll get so they can get the whole SHOT Show experience, basically. So I think we'll start at the top, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to start with the big guy,
The big boy, the HTI, which stands for Hard Target Interdiction. This is the big bore version of the SRS, which we'll get to a little bit later. It's a multi-caliber bolt action rifle that has it's offered in 4 calibers. So we have 375 and 408 CT, 416 Barrett, and 50 BMG. Like both of our precision guns, we guarantee a return to zero as you're making caliber conversions on this rifle, and you can swap calibers in about a minute.
We've done races before. We've got it down to like 45 seconds roughly, but the change of barrel on the HTI is just like the SRS. You can swap from one caliber to another, and like Nick mentioned, it returns to zero. So when you go between those calibers, every time you come back to a previous caliber, it's going to impact the same place it always did. So.
And we've seen the HTI grow increasingly in popularity over the last year to 2 years, with ELR becoming more prominent today. People want to reach out and touch stuff a lot further off. This is really one of the only true production rifles that is competitive with ELR shooters, that is at a price point that's significantly less than a lot of the custom competitive precision rifles used for ELR shooting. So that's something that we're really proud of. The HTI is a great rifle. It's shorter, more compact than a conventional bolt action precision gun, especially for ELR shooting, and you don't sacrifice the accuracy.
That's right. And it has the same quality trigger that the SRS rifles have. So it's just an overall great rifle. And it's also, we've got this rifle in service with a lot of militaries around the world as well. So it's a very tough customer here. So if you guys have any questions about the HTI or anything like that, feel free to comment below and we will address those here shortly. Anything else on the HTI?
I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like we said, This is going to be just like a real shot show. So ask your questions. We've got some helpers here. They're going to go through those questions and bring them up to us. And like we mentioned before, all the cool questions are going to get some swag, maybe a hat or something like that. So make sure you get good questions in. What are we going to talk about next?
Next thing on the agenda, we want to talk about our lineup of suppressor options for our guns. So some of you may know already, some may not, that we actually manufacture our own line of suppressors for the SRS A2. The DTSS suppressors, those come in a 30 cal option and a 338 option. And those are kitted up with muzzle brakes that are designed to work with our suppressor specifically. So the 30 cal suppressor comes with a 5/8 24 muzzle brake that'll thread onto your barrel, 5/8 24, and then the suppressor will thread onto the muzzle brake. And then the 338 suppressor is a 3/4 24 thread that will then again marry up to the 338 DTSS can.
And if you have both, so if you've got say you've got a 308 rifle a 308 barrel and a 338 barrel for your rifle, you can get a 338 suppressor and it will screw onto either brake. The 308 one obviously will not thread onto the 338 brake, but that way you can run the same can on two different calibers. It saves a little time and less kit there. We also have lead iron suppressors.
Make one more point.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So one other thing to note on this is we designed these around accuracy. So that was really the whole purpose of designing these. So you marry a DTSS suppressor with our rifle, or any rifle for that matter, you will see an increase in accuracy with that can on it. So that's something to note as well.
Sorry to jump in on you there, but so we also have lead iron suppressors. These are specifically for the HTI. So this suppressor threads directly onto the brake of the HTI. The 50 caliber one does screw onto the barrel, not to the brake. So we have suppressors for the HTI. We have suppressors for the SRS. We also sell an assortment of other suppressors that we have found to be the best choice for our rifle. So for the MDR and the MDRX, we've got an assortment of suppressors that we also sell. You can go to our website and find out more about those and get and order those there.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all we wanted to touch on suppressors. We'll go ahead and move on to the next category, which is our ammunition. So some may know, some may not know, but Desert Tech Munitions, we manufacture our own ammunition here. Again, it's designed around our precision rifle systems, but it's fantastic ammunition for all rifles out there. It's premium match grade ammo. We offer 308 Win, 6.5 Creedmoor, 338 Lapua, 50 BMG, and 375 Chi-Tac as well. So those are the ammo offerings. They are temperature stable, and I'm losing my train of thought, Jeff.
Temperature stable. They are very consistent lot to lot. Like we say, they've been loaded specifically for our rifles, but they do perform well in pretty much any quality rifle. But we've optimized them to shoot well in our guns. So that's how we get our half MOA guarantee with our rifles, with our SRS rifles anyways. That's where that comes from, is the ammunition and the rifle together work like a perfect machine, I guess.
And what I was going to mention that I lost my train of thought is we have high BC for optimal precision performance downrange.
It's all about the long range.
Always about the long range. Got to be precision downrange.
Yes.
Another thing that's cool is on our ammo boxes we do offer a drop chart. I don't know that that's standard with most ammunition, but that is pretty cool to at least get you close on targets at varying distances. So that comes standard on all of the ammunition that we manufacture here at Desert Tech.
Yeah, and obviously that'll vary with your density altitude, but this is based off of the information that we've actually gotten from them. So I think we have a couple of questions. Do we want to go to that?
Yeah, we'll take some questions here. So looks like we've got a question from Christopher. Are you still offering an LE discount on rifles and ammo? Yes, we are. The LE discount that we offer is for active duty law enforcement or military individuals. You can reach out to sales at Desert Tech, and we'll get you squared away for that discount. If you're working with a department, if the department is purchasing weapons, then you can email the same account, but we have a different program for department sales.
That's sales@deserttech.com. You screwed up there, sorry.
Oh.
So here's a hat for Chris. Think about that. Also, I saw one comment from Grunt Reviews about suppressor shift. So the suppressor shift with our suppressors is about like any other. They do shift some, not a lot. It's typically not very much, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. But it's just like the rifles, it's repeatable. So every time you take your can off, put it back on, you're going to see the same shift every time. So keep that in mind. Thanks for that question. What's the next one? Are your suppressors still lead iron? Yeah. So as we mentioned, the HTI suppressors are made by Elite Iron. The DTSS suppressors for the SRS are made here. We make those. And then the MDR ones that we currently offer are manufactured by other companies as well.
And to clarify on the Elite Iron suppressors, those are specific to caliber. So the 375 is specific to the 375 Chi-Tac conversion kit for the HI, as well as the 50 BMG, because that does direct thread onto the barrel. So they would be specific to those calibers.
Correct.
Got another question from Andy. It says, do you have hunting ammo? Not at this time. We only offer premium match grade ammunition right now, currently.
Except everybody hunts with it, so I guess you could call it hunting.
Yeah.
We kill a lot of animals with it, so.
Very good. So unless there are any other questions, and I'm sure that there are, sorry we can't get to all of them, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next category, the next rifle that we want to show you guys or kind of do a run through.
Before you do though, Nick, I was just saying, keep those questions coming. Even if we don't get to them in the video, we will get back to you and answer them. We've got some of our sales staff in the comments section. They'll be answering questions that we might not. So keep asking your questions, and even if we don't answer them in the video, we'll get you an answer.
So next we're going to take a look at the MDR-X rifle. This is the new generation MDR. So I'm going to take 2 off here because they are different rifles, and I'll explain why in a second. But the MDR-X is a truly ambidextrous rifle, and it was designed to be ambidextrous right out of the box. You have all of your controls on both sides, from dual charging handles, your safety selector, magazine release, which is you have an AR style magazine release right here, as well as a rearward magazine release for strip and retain, and then your bolt release right behind that. So again, all controls on both sides, and it is a multi-caliber system, much like the HTI and the SRS A2. We currently offer 223, 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, and 300 blackout conversion kits for the MDR-X, and varying barrel lengths. So anything from 16 inch to 20 inch on the 223 and the 308, and then the 6.5 is only in 20 inches at the moment.
Correct.
Another thing to note is, both Jeff and I have a rifle here. They are different calibers, but they are also different chassis setups. So what I'm holding here is the MDR-X SE, or side eject variation of the MDR, and what Jeff has is the MDR-X FE, or forward ejecting MDR. So these chassis are specific to that type of to that type of ejection system. You could not take this conversion kit and put a forward ejecting conversion kit into this chassis and have it work, and vice versa with the side eject into the forward eject chassis.
Without changing additional parts.
That is correct.
The chassis itself is identical between these 2 rifles. The difference being this gun has side eject parts in it, this gun has forward eject parts in it. So we're going to show you here in a minute the difference between those 2. Just so that we're clear, I just want to make sure so we're not confused. One MDR can do everything. You're just going to need additional parts in order to do that. And we've set those up in a series of kits so that if you say you start out with a forward ejecting rifle like this one and you want to switch to a side eject rifle, you'll have to buy the side eject conversion kit that he has, in addition to a forward eject to side eject chassis upgrade kit. So we're going to go over some of those here real quick just to clear the air.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah, and we'll get a little bit closer in-depth look at these. We have a different camera angle here that'll show the chassis specifically. So on the table here, I've got an MDR-X chassis.
Actually, that's an MDR chassis.
Good point. But it is just the chassis, so this actually is not forward or side eject at this moment. But again, the chassis is specific to ejection as well as the conversion kit. So if you were to have a forward ejecting chassis, that chassis would come with the scissor mechanism, the ejection panel, installed on the chassis itself. When you opened it out of the box. And then you would need a forward ejecting conversion kit, which would come with the ejection chute panel and the bolt, as well as the magazine spacer, if applicable, and the barrel to go with the chassis. If you had a side ejecting chassis, you would actually have this plate cover installed on the chassis. And then the side eject conversion kit would come with all the conversion kit specific parts on it. So if you wanted to take a side eject chassis with a side eject conversion kit and run a forward eject conversion kit, you would need to purchase the side to forward eject chassis upgrade kit, which is this ejection chute, as well as these retainer clips.
But it's a kit, so
it's
easy. You could just order the kit and you'll have everything you need.
And the forward ejecting conversion kit that goes with that chassis, and vice versa for the
side eject.
So we've kind of laid these parts out here a little bit so that you can see them. These that my hand is next to right now are the forward eject to side eject kit, and then this would be your kit to go from side eject to forward eject. So I know that there has been a little bit of confusion on this from some of our dealers and consumers. We're hoping to kind of clear that up a little bit here, and as well do that on our website. In the future, we'll have some additional information on how to do that. As always, if you have any questions, reach out to our stocking dealers. They're informed of this information. You can also reach out to us, sales at Desert Tech. You can give us a call anytime. We'd be happy to answer your questions.
Also, one other thing. For those of you who do have an MDR instead of an MDRX, you can still do all of these same things. But you're going to have to do a little bit of a parts change here. So you can actually see in this MDR chassis, I don't know what camera we're on, Chris. Are we on one or two? Okay. So if you look here, you can see this is the bolt carrier on the MDR. This is an MDRX bolt carrier, and you can see there's a difference in it. It's got an extra hole right here. So this is the MDRX bolt carrier. So if you have an MDR and you want to run a side eject conversion kit, you'll want to change to the MDRX bolt carrier. You can order those on our website or from our dealers. And the whole purpose of that extra hole is so that you can add this little side spacer here that is specifically for covering the port on the side eject part of the system there. So that is another part that you may want to get if you want to run those side eject conversion kit. That's what you'll want to get. So that's just another one to keep in mind as well.
So again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them now. You can reach out to us via email, and we'll answer your questions that way too. Or Facebook's another great way to get a hold of us. Is there anything else we want to touch on for the MDRX specifically? Forearms.
Let's see. Oh yeah, let's talk. Well, let's talk about the forearms real quick. We'll get to your questions in just one sec, guys. We're going to go over. We have 3 different forearms for the MDRX. There's the one you've just seen. I'll put this one back up there too. So this is the standard handguard that comes with when you order the gun. So that's the standard handguard. Let me see the big guy down there on the bottom. So this is the. Sorry. So this is the extended handguard right here. This is made if you want to have, if you've got the longer barrels. This is real handy if you want to get your bipod out there further if you use one. It also is made so your over the barrel suppressors can go back in here. If you're that type of guy and you have one of those kind of suppressors, you can run that. So that's the overmold handguard, or the suppressor handguard as it's often referred to.
I believe it's titled the Reflex handguard on our website.
There we go, Reflex handguard.
And then the final handguard that we have available is the Shorty, the
new Micron one.
Yeah, that would be that guy right up there, but we'll get to that.
We'll show that here in a minute. Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. Other than that, let's see, is there anything else we wanted to do? I think that's it.
Yeah, I think
so. Let's get some questions real quick, David, if you would. Let's see. Sergeant Storms asked, any plans to release Reflex flow-through suppressor for the MDR? At this time, I don't think so.
Believe so.
And since we learned our lesson, even if we did, we probably wouldn't tell you about it until it was ready. So
true.
We learned our lesson doing that before. So we won't be telling about any products that aren't already to release.
Yeah.
So.
Will future MDR handguards have a physical barrier to prevent finger burns?
Ooh, I think he's talking about the Finger Burner 2000.
The 2000, yeah. Again, nothing that we can release to you at this time. So a no to that question.
That's a no to that question.
Yeah.
Just keep your finger off the finger burner.
Yeah.
Obviously. Let's see. Will there be more color options for the MDRX? Yeah, there's black and FDE. Those are the options.
And Cerakote.
And Cerakote or Krylon also makes an assortment of colors. Those will be available
And I've seen
anytime.
a few really well done Rattlecam MDRs as well.
That is correct. I own one myself. But let's see, what else? Could you explain the difference between MDR and MDRX chassis?
It's a good
I
question.
think we just did that.
So he's talking about MDR versus MDRX, not forward versus side. So
Okay.
I think, and feel free to follow up if I'm misunderstanding you, but what upgrades did we do to the chassis specifically when we went from the MDR to the MDRX? So we upgraded the polymer on the MDRX chassis, so they have a different resin than the MDR chassis did. The trigger assembly is also different. We obviously engraved an X into the MDRX rifles.
That was the hardest part, believe it or not.
Indeed it was. And then this isn't chassis specific, but we did change the gas block on the MDRX rifles to
Better water drainage, basically. It
Yeah.
has additional ports to allow for better water drainage in the event you should be wet and shooting, which I don't recommend.
me either. All right.
Was that it? I think differences between the MDR and the MDRX. I believe those are most of the differences. Obviously, like Nick mentioned, not chassis specific, but the MDRX comes with the ratchet muzzle brake on it instead of just a 3-prong flash hider. So that's also another difference, but that's not particularly chassis specific. So those are good questions. So let's get some hats out to those boys.
Thank you guys for those questions. We appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and move on to the SRS A2 now.
All right. This is the SRS A2. This is basically 4th generation SRS, I guess we could call it technically. Because
Technically.
And there's a little bit of confusion on that because a lot of people are always asking, well, I have a Gen 1 or I have a Gen 2 or an A1 or whatever. So the Gen 1 SRS was the first gen, then there was the Gen 2 SRS, then there was the SRS A1, and now the SRS A2. That's why we say it's basically the 4th generation SRS. So the SRS is our flagship rifle, essentially. It is a multi-caliber precision rifle. I put in my notes, it's the OG precision rifle of multi-caliber rifles. So it does an assortment of calibers, probably too many to list because there's so many options out there. We offer some very popular ones: 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, 300 Winchester, 338 Lapua. But pretty much, if you know anybody that makes rifles, they'll make you a barrel in pretty much any caliber you want for this rifle. So, what's next?
So as Jeff mentioned, we also offer a half-minute of angle guarantee
Oh yes.
on these rifles. They're extremely accurate. And then we do still guarantee that return to zero. So when you change calibers, and it is very similar to the HTI, it takes about a minute, though the fastest I think I've ever seen was about 32 seconds.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that guy was robotic. Anyways, so we do guarantee a return to zero. And then something that we haven't mentioned yet, but is worth noting, is that all of our rifles do come with a limited lifetime warranty from the factory, and that is a transferable warranty. So whether you're the first purchaser of the rifle or you're the second, third, fourth, that rifle does transfer. That warranty does transfer to any succeeding owners.
Yeah, anybody who owns it. Maybe some of the features we should go over. So the A2 shares a lot of the same features as the A1. It has adjustable length of pull with spacers on the back. It's got an adjustable trigger to adjust the pull weight and creep. It has, where was I going? What was next?
Another thing to point out,
monopod.
monopod. So both the SRS A2 and the HTI come with the Desert Tech monopod. So it's got adjustments that are micro adjustments and a macro adjustment by pressing down on that, which is really great for target acquisition and then fine tuning it once you're close.
Staying on target.
Yep, exactly. And then the controls are ambidextrous on this rifle: safety, magazine release. So both of those things can be handled from both sides, though we only make this in a right-handed configuration chassis.
And for all those guys who are going to ask, yes, no, we are not making a left-handed SRS. we still have quite a few left-handed A1s. The production cost of a left-hand rifle versus the sales of said rifle just don't seem to be, the numbers don't add up. So if you really want a left-handed rifle, we still have A1s, even though they've been discontinued for 2 years. So feel free to get in touch with us on those. One of the best parts I think that a lot of people like about the A2 versus the A1 is the handguard. So here, turn me back for a sec. The handguard on the A2, as you can see, this is a covert. That's the standard A2. Sorry, did I say A1? I meant A2. Anyways, this is the standard handguard. This is the covert handguard. And instead of having to use a special tool like you did with the A1, with the A2 you can swap this with just a couple of Allen wrenches. So it's user changeable. You can go from the long handguard to the short handguard. It's M-LOK compatible, so you can add whatever you want to it at any position on the handguard. And it's much lighter than the A1 was, so the whole rifle's lost a lot of weight compared to its predecessor, and it's a lot easier to work on the end user from your perspective anyways.
Yeah, and I believe, to touch on weight, the lightest configuration that we have for the A2 is about 8 pounds. So we were able to shed off about 1.5 pounds on that. Now, I think the caveat is that's without the monopod.
Correct. You can see this one doesn't have the monopod, this one does. They all come with monopods now, so it's not really a concern there. You're going to get a monopod if you order the gun. So,
but you don't have to use it if you don't want to.
If you don't want to use it, you don't have to, but you'd be wrong to not to.
Indeed.
So,
too easy to use.
Exactly.
So I don't think there's any other points we wanted to go over on the SRS, so we'll field some questions now on this.
Will the SRS become more available in Canada? That's a good question.
That is a good
Are
question.
there guns in Canada?
There are guns in Canada, and the bolt rifles are available in Canada. We do have some dealers up there. Off the top of my head, I don't know any that I could name, but you're more than welcome to reach out to us via email, and I believe there's a dealer locator on our website as well. What is Carson's email? Is it international sales at Desert Tech?
I don't know. That's a good question.
We will post in the comments after this with the email address for our international sales rep, and he'll be able to direct you in the right location to find those A2s.
So staying with Canada, is there a Canadian version of the MDRX coming?
Eh?
No. Canadian version of the MDRX, as last I heard, the RCMP has not approved the MDRX for import. So as far as we know, there is not MDRXs available in Canada. Is there a version of it coming? I'm assuming you meaning like a gasless straight pull. That I'm not aware of. We could perhaps look into that, but
No guarantees.
no
Nothing-
guarantees.
yeah.
Nothing that we know of at this time, put it that way.
Next question is, any plans for the M2? Well, don't. You just wait.
Yeah,
It's
we'll get
coming.
to that in a minute. Here's a hat for Canada.
Hey.
Let's see. Hey. James Jackson asks, will you make a 9mm conversion kit for the MDRX? Ooh, I would like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
That would be pretty cool. At the moment, there are no plans that we know of, but that would be awesome.
Let's not take anything off the table.
All right, it's on the table.
And then last question we've got so far is, does the lifetime warranty exclude barrel wear?
You're dang right it does.
Yes.
We're not going to give you barrels for life.
Yes. So yes, it does exclude barrel wear. Any wear and tear on the rifles is not included in that. I don't know all the specifications, but I believe that lifetime warranty, the specs are on our website. They're certainly included with the rifle purchase as well.
Robert Fuller asks, just got an A2 with a 308 barrel. Any recommendations on ammunition for hunting whitetail deer? Well,
DTM 308 precision match ammo, I think is great.
if you can't kill a deer with that, then there's something wrong. There's a million different things, but I've killed many deer and elk with that ammunition, so you should be fine using that. What else? Okay, I have original MDR. Want to change to side eject? How do I get my hands on the MDRX bolt carrier? Go to the website, right?
It is on the website. We were having some technical difficulties loading the new page today, so it might be a day or so. If you can't find it on the website, again, reach out to sales@deserttech.com. and we'll get you squared away. They are available.
Okay, what else? What provisions do you have for an ARCA Swiss rail on the bottom of the HTI? Where'd you put that? That's right here. That one. So, the HTI will take any kind of an ARCA rail. This is a Area 419 ARCA rail. You can bolt that to the bottom of the HTI. That's something we could look at in the future, I suppose. Great idea. How about a hat for that one? Sorry, I don't hit you, David. Let's see. What else? Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, these are some interesting questions here. Somebody says the RCMP is blocking the MDR, so that's kind of what we had mentioned. Will you make a rifle with a 22 long rifle conversion? That would be another cool one. Whether it was the MDR or the SRS, that would be a cool one. At the moment, like we said before, nothing is in the plans.
Though it's not something, or I wouldn't say that it's off the table for some of our custom barrel dealers or custom barrel manufacturers either. So certainly if you had a gunsmith that was up to the task, they could do that for you. I think I've heard whisperings of something, but I don't know many details.
Correct. Will there be more side eject conversions in the future for the MDRX?
Yes.
Possibly, yeah.
Yes, I can think of one right off the top
that's right.
of my head.
There is another conversion. We'll get to that one in a minute. What else? Oh, somebody's talking about the Micron. How about that? Finger burns on the piston handle. Oh, we already talked about that, didn't we? I have a 308 on order. Do you sell just a 6.5 barrel so I can use the same bolt?
Yes, we do. Again, on the website, if you can't find it there, feel free to reach out to us at sales@deserttech.com. They are available.
Is there any hope for a New York compliant MDR?
I do not believe so.
Sorry, New York. You're SOL. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Anything short of a revolution, I'm not sure if we can help you there. Sorry, I don't know what to do there. Has any military group adopted the MDR or MDRX? At this point, I'm not aware of any.
No, not at this point. There are some that are on trial, and we have done some government-funded programs for those trials, but nothing that has actually been adopted outside of just special one-off sales here and there for special forces. Things like that.
Okay. When converting, this is Jasper Cobbins asking, when converting from FE to SE, are there special things to look at to prevent ejection issues?
No, pretty much everything that's in that kit will allow you to convert the chassis from one to the other. So as long as you convert your chassis and you get the corresponding conversion kit, you should be good to go.
Yeah, and that's a great time to lube it. Whenever you're changing from forward to side or changing conversions or whatever, it's a great time to clean and lube it. Does the SE upgrade kit require any special tools? It uses a T15 Torx driver is pretty much all you're going to need to change out the screws on the side of the receiver. Right here, these guys. So it just takes a little T15 Torx driver. You'll need it to remove this screw here. I don't know if you're looking at the wrong camera, but so you'll take this guy out, and then you'll swap these pieces out. So that's the only real tool you'll need. It might help if you have a punch to help push a few things out, but it's not typically necessary. Let's see, 308 Winchester side eject for the MDRX. At the moment, no, we don't have one. That's certainly not something, we'll leave that one on the table still, because that's certainly a possibility in the future.
Now, what product is the most underrated that you sell? That's a tough one. I don't even know how I'd answer that. I guess it's
underrated product.
I think that's a relative question. Like, you might have a different answer than I would.
That's probably true.
I
don't know. I would say, me personally, I would say it's probably the HTI. A lot of people don't appreciate it for what it is, but that's just my perspective. So I don't know.
I would agree with that. I think actually also the side eject MDRX. I mean, if we still sell a ton of the forward eject, and that's great, but I think that the side eject offers a lot of value to the end users as well, especially with the release of our up and coming release. Excuse me, we haven't gotten to that yet.
Correct. Here's a question we knew was coming. What is the turnaround time for orders on MDRX? So
That is a great question. It is subject to change, but and dependent upon caliber as well. So there's a lot of caveats in production right now, given everything that's going on in the world. Typically, we're seeing anywhere between a 12 and 16 week lead time, though we are making a lot of changes in our production facility to shrink that dramatically this year. Wow.
Already tripping on his
Yeah.
tongue. Here's a good question. Caliber kits for the SRS. Do you have kits so I can run 223 and use it as a trainer as well?
We don't have kits for 223, though they do exist. I don't know if there's more than one, but I know Short Action Customs does make a 223 conversion kit for the SRS.
Correct. So you can get those through an external dealer. They manufacture those, so you can get those.
Is there a 16-inch barrel or conversion kit for the MDRX 6.5 Creedmoor? Not that we make. I do think you could just cut the barrel. No, I'm just kidding.
Hacksaw.
No, it's not something that we make. Just the 20-inch at this time.
Okay.
What do you think? One more question, and then maybe we move on to
Sure.
to the good stuff.
Okay. Do you have any other ones, David, that we need to get to? There's more. There's several questions on the turnaround.
Recommended bipod for the MDR. I'm gonna let Jeff take
Ooh.
this one. You have more
Recommended
experience.
bipod for the MDR. So I like Harris's because they're simple and cheap. Atlas's work good. I'll tell you what I don't like. How about that? I don't like those kind that bolt to the side of the handguard. They're terrible because you can never get the gun level, which is irritating. So there's those ones that M-lock to the side of the handguard. I don't care for those type, but any of the type that attach either to the bottom or the top, that the rifle can either sit atop of or suspend from, so you can level the rifle properly. That's those are the kind of like I say, I like the Harris because they're cheap and easy and they're pretty tough. The Atlases are also nice, but they're a bit more money. So those are the ones I like. What else? Oh yeah, there's a good question. Guy talking about top-mounted bipod, so that's the good one. Oh, there's a good question. Do you have plans for a 6.5 Grendel or 6mm arc?
No on the 6.5 Grendel. Leave it on the table.
We'll leave that one on the table. I have an arc. Some of you may have already seen it. That's a custom one that we made. That not we as in Desert Tech, but it's a custom one that we made. It is awesome, but it's not a factory option at the moment. So
Quite frankly, he doesn't shut up about it, so it's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
it is pretty awesome.
So yeah, I think with that we should maybe jump.
Should we move
into-
along?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
so what are we going to next?
So I think we.
Oh, yeah.
Going to the new stuff.
The new stuff?
Oh, boy.
Oh no, well we wanted to hit. Oh, I wanted to hit this. We just got the 20-inch MDRX cases in. So most of you knew about the 16-inch cases. So now we have 20-inch cases as well. So those of you guys who have the 20-inch rifles, the 6.5s and the 308s, we have the bigger cases available now. So you can find those on our website soon if they're not there now.
They should be there now. And to clarify, 20-inch barrel.
20-inch barrel.
Yeah, for the MDR. The overall length is a little bit longer than that. I actually don't know off the top of my head, but these are for 20-inch conversion kits in your MDRX. Then we have a shorter bag for 16 inches
Correct.
as well.
And then also, for those of you who may or may not be aware, we've got tool kits as well. These are handy for those. So this is our operator's toolkit that is for the HTI and SRS. Comes full of tools, cleaning equipment, and everything you'll need to clean the gun, change calibers, all those things. So these are the operator toolkits. These are handy, and they have everything you need to work on the gun. So you've got that. And then also we've got Fix-It Sticks toolkits that have all the tools in there as well. So we've got toolkits, we've got cases, we've got all kinds of stuff, soft cases. Some of you may have seen our videos on soft cases. So we've got shooting mat soft cases, so you can store your gun in it and then shoot off of it. So all kinds of stuff like that. These are all custom made specifically for our guns.
So you'll notice there's pouches for magazines, extra bolts. There is a sleeve here for an
extra conversion kit, suppressor. Pretty much everything all in one bag. In the HTI, it makes for a very heavy load. So anyhow, so keep that stuff in mind if you guys want something to specifically carry your guns in. We've got all those kind of options as well on the website. So keep an eye out for those.
All right. Well, I don't know if I can wait any longer. I think
Is it
we need
time?
I think it's time.
Okay. So some of you guys have asked about the M2.
Yeah. I have one question in particular. We answered it. Yeah.
Which question was it?
I think he said specifically, "What are you doing about the M2?"
Oh,
we
okay.
have an answer.
Here's the answer. So this is the SRS M2, M meaning military. We built this gun by military request. A lot of the military branches use multiple different optics. So you've got a one-piece monolithic rail that goes from back to front. That way you can mount your day optics, your night optics, your thermal optics all on the same plane without having to worry about cant. So the SRS M2 was made to fill that role for those military applications. It's available with a 30 MOA cant
That's correct.
built into it, so you can put your scope in a 0 MOA mount, and then your night optic or thermal optic will be perfectly in line with a 30 MOA cant, which is pretty handy. In addition to that, one of the newest things about the M2 is we have added to the bottom of it a built-in Area 419 Arca-Lock Arca rail to the bottom. This will work with all of Area 419's accessories as well as pretty much any Arca accessory. So you can lock your bipod onto here, you can lock into tripods, you can put on shooting bags, there's a million different accessories you can hook onto this that will help you for shooting off of barricades. You can put barricade stops on it so you can lean into things, all kinds of stuff. You can move your bipod with extreme ease without having to worry about taking off M-Lock or other tedious little connections. So that is the difference between the M2 and the A2. And
So one other thing is we launched this last year at SHOT Show. It was dedicated military law enforcement rifles, so it was not available on the domestic market. For this year, we are going to allow domestic sales of the M2, so that will be available through our dealer channel immediately, and then it will also be available online shortly after that. So if you're very interested in the M2 immediately, reach out to one of our stocking dealers. They'll get you squared away again. Lead times on any of our SRS rifles right now are 4 to 6 weeks roughly. So they're going to just kind of fall into that queue, potentially a little bit longer, as this is, we're getting our first batch through production right now for the domestic market, that is. And price point on the chassis specifically is about $350 more than the A2 chassis.
So here you can see this other M2. This one you can see, so right here I've got the Area 419 adjustment, or the Area 419 clamp hooked onto the bipod here, so you can see how easy it is. You can have your bipod on the front, you can lift it up, slide it up, lock it in. It's that fast. You do the same thing on tripods, any of your accessories, it's all easily adjusted. So honestly, I think that might be my favorite part about the M2. Obviously I like the one-piece rail as well, but I think that might be my favorite part about it. So there's going to be a lot of excitement about that. Was there anything else we want to talk about on that?
I don't believe so. We went over price. We went over the differences. I mean, it's an A2 except the forearm. I mean, the receiver is different to accept the monolithic rail. But essentially all the same features that are offered on the A2 exist on the M2 and then some.
Right.
So it is just...
And we probably could get to the top. Well, I'm sure one of the first questions about the M2 is going to be, can I buy the rail and put it on my M2 or on my A2? No. As Nick just mentioned, the receiver on the M2 is different. The M2 doesn't have the little chunk of rail that your A2 has. So you cannot put this rail, the one-piece scope rail on your A2. So you'll have to get an M2 if you want that.
That is correct. Otherwise, do we have any questions, Dave?
I think we have some questions. Lots of comments. Is there a covert M2?
Is there a covert M2? No, there is not. The
No, there
M2
is not.
Is standard length only.
It wouldn't make sense if you're going to add. The whole point of this thing is for adding optics, and if this ended right here, then it probably wouldn't do you any good. So no covert M2.
Shorter case for the Micron. It's not anything that we have right now, but certainly something that we can probably offer in the very near future. We're designing these bags, so our product management team is probably in the works on designing something. Nothing, again, no set date, but definitely something that we can bring out.
We can bring back the idea of the murder purse. Like a man purse, MDR murder purse that the Micron fits in. Oh, right. Anyway, let's see. Will you have rifles for T&E? Sure, if you can give me a compelling argument, why not?
Yeah. So we do offer T&E rifles for military law enforcement purposes. Outside of that, it's case by case, and yeah, there has to be a very compelling argument to receive a T&E rifle, or you could, come and work for us.
Yeah,
we're hiring.
Yeah, we are hiring. If you need a job.
Estimated shipping time for new soft cases. We'll have to get back to you on that one. If what Jeff says is true, that should be the one of the first shipment that we receive. So assuming you have an order in the system, we should be able to ship a fair amount of those right away. But don't hold me to that because I actually haven't seen the shipment, though I see that one is here. So
there was a couple of them in a box. So there could be 5, there could be 100. I don't know. Any plans for a 14.5 barrel for the MDRX to pin and weld muzzle brake to avoid tack stand? For the life of me, I can't understand this argument. Maybe I'm just retarded, but why would you want a 14.5 when you can just run a 16 and avoid the tack stand? If you want a 14.5, again, I can recommend a hacksaw, but no, we aren't planning on doing any 14.5s. If you want it, you're going to have it made yourself, probably. Either that, or you can order a Micron,
which we'll get to in a moment.
In a moment.
M2 weight versus the A2 weight. That's actually a good question. We'll have to reply to that after the fact.
I don't think we have those numbers handy. It's not much. There's not much difference. So maybe an ounce or two. Yeah, it's not much difference. So, got work from home positions.
Not currently, no. These are all factory positions.
Does the SRS take AICS or SR25 magazines? No. The SRS takes proprietary mags. We make them, and they're the only ones that work in the SRS. So, unfortunately, no, we do not have. The MDR does take SR25 mags, pattern mags, but the SRS is on its own. Who ate more crispy KFC?
I think I got the crispy stuff.
Actually, I ate more than you because you nursed that one piece of chicken for like an hour. Anyway,
I kept getting greedy parts,
Let's see. Any spare parts kits available for planned high wear parts on the various rifles? That's a great question. At the moment, I don't think we have any of those. You can certainly order them, piece by piece, but that's not a bad idea. It's something we might look at in the future of having a high wear part replacement kit. Did you go over the price of the M2?
I did briefly. So just to cover it again, it's roughly $350 additional for the chassis. The conversion kits are compatible with both. So I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but I think it's about $350 more.
Yeah, we'll have to get someone in sales to come get us a price.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we ready to move on or no?
I think we are.
Okay. Were we going to answer any additional questions? I think that's it, right?
That's it.
Okay.
So, finally, I think the moment most everybody's been waiting for with the release or our lead up to this release, our teaser campaign, all that stuff.
Correct.
Is the release of the Desert Tech Micron.
Oh,
look at that beautiful baby right there.
Isn't that darling?
It's so cute. So
special.
This is the Desert Tech Micron. Well, actually, this is a Micron installed in an MDRX. The Micron is a conversion kit, but it is an 11.5-inch 5.56 side eject barrel that comes with the Shorty handguard or the Micron handguard and all of the components needed or that come with your conversion kit components. We actually sell it in a variety of different configurations specific to the rifle that you're converting from. So again, on our website, it'll say, it'll walk you through if you have a forward eject, this is what you need to convert that to a side eject Micron, or if you have a side eject, what you'll need to convert to the Micron conversion kit. So the hand grip comes with the conversion kit. It does have an 11.5-inch barrel, 6-position gas block, all the same, and it has M-LOK slots on it. There's 4 M-LOK slots on it for you, so that you can add attachments. You can kind of see we kitted this one out for you here. And then, Jeff, is there any other features you want to
for those that are going to ask, it's a 7-twist barrel. It's available in 223 Wilde only. For those who are going to ask, there's a lot more people shooting 223 than 300 blackout. That's why we started with a 223. In addition to that, the blackout, running a blackout in the MDRX with this shorter barrel is going to require some re-engineering. So if we do that, it will be in the future, not at this time. Let's go over a couple numbers. Some of you guys are asking weight. So the rifle length is 23.4 with the Micron installed. However, that's with the muzzle brake on it. Without the muzzle device, it is 21.5 inches. For those of you looking to fill out a Form 1 this afternoon, that's the length you're going to want to enter. It's 21.5. The rifle weighs 7.6 pounds dry. It's extremely well balanced. I mean, this thing is very easy to run single-handedly like this. So that's very handy.
One other thing to note is the Micron actually comes with a different muzzle device than all of the MDRX conversion kits. And this is another new product, but we're launching the Desert Tech Raiden flash hider, which will come standard on the Micron conversion kit and barrel kits. And that's the one that you see featured on this rifle right here.
Correct. Also, just want to reiterate one thing. Nick mentioned it already. This is available as a conversion kit only, so you won't be able to buy a rifle already put together like this. You'll be able to buy it as a conversion kit, whether that is a complete caliber conversion kit or just a barrel kit. So if you already have an MDRX SE, then all you'll need to buy is the barrel kit. It will come with the barrel and the handguard. You drop it in and you're ready to go. So that's hopefully that answers that question.
And then as far as pricing goes, the conversion kit, which again will come with all the same parts that a standard MDRX conversion kit comes with, and the handguard is going to be about $753. The barrel kit, so if you had a 5.56 side eject already and all you needed was the barrel kit would come with the handguard as well. That's going to be about $589. And then we kind of talked about the chassis kits earlier, but if you were converting from a forward eject to a side eject chassis, that upgrade kit is $90 roughly. And then
that little baggie of parts that had the side eject parts
had this little plate right here and the screws needed, as well as a gasket. And then if you are one of the original MDR owners and you want to get the MDRX bolt carrier so that you can attach that little side plate that Jeff was talking about earlier, the MDRX bolt carrier is $299. So those are the different kits that you may have to purchase depending on your rifle configuration currently in order to get the Micron functioning in your MDRX chassis. But that's pretty straightforward. One other thing I wanted to point out, and this is specific to any dealers who we may have watching, is that we will be offering this dummy Micron handguard for dealers for display purposes. So basically you won't have to SBR your chassis ahead of time in order to display it. So that will be available. We are giving those away with the purchase of 10 Micron kits for dealers. So if you're interested in getting one of those for free, feel free to place an order for the Micron kits. Reach out to your regional sales rep or shoot us an email if you're not quite sure who that is. We'll get you set up and hooked up with the right person, and they'll get you squared away. So just for a little bit of a closer look here.
Good camera too, Chris.
This is the display Micron dummy handguard that dealers will have access to display the Micron in their stores.
Let's get to a couple of questions real quick, and then maybe we can come back. First question I saw was reflex handguards work on the Micron. Yes, and it's awesome. So I put a black reflex suppressor, a black reflex handguard and my suppressor on it, and it was awesome. The suppressor poked out about that much at the front of the handguard. It does work. However, it will get hot, so I'm not responsible for any melting handguards.
So there's a question regarding what positions we're hiring for. I'll get to that after, so we can address the MDRX Micron first. There's a question that says plans for MDRX match trigger pack. Not from Desert Tech, though I do know that there's at least one, maybe two on the market, or if not two already, there's another one coming to market. There's the Jard, yes.
Jard makes
the Jard trigger pack, and I believe there's one more that's either available or in the works at the moment.
Correct. Another question about the MDRX FE. So people are asking if they can get a forward eject Micron. At the moment, it is side eject only. You cannot put a forward eject. The forward eject bolt and the side eject bolt are two different bolts, two different barrel extensions. So you can't interchange them. So if you have a forward eject, you're going to have to get the forward eject to side eject chassis upgrade to run it. Part of the reason we did that, I was just having a discussion with our CEO, Nick. Part of the reason that the Micron is side eject only, there's the obvious concern of being able to chamber check and clear guns. That's one concern that some people had, but even more so on top of that is the side eject is not going to restrict our production any more than we are already at the moment. So if we were to make the Micron a forward eject, then it would make the line even longer for people getting their guns, and we've got enough problems. We don't need to add to it. So that's the explanation on the forward eject.
Trust us when we say we want to get you your guns just as fast as you want them. Any recommended barrel smiths?
John Smith.
Eric Smith.
Eric Smith. Short Action Customs, ES Tactical, Special Purpose Rifles. There's
Hayden Precision.
There's a bunch of really good places that make custom barrels. Some of them make for the MDR, some of them make for the SRS, some of them do all three, the SRS, the MDR, and the HTI. So if you want more, I believe there's a place on our website that shows some good aftermarket places that may still be there. I'm not sure, but
the ones we named, and then if those ones don't work out for you, feel free again to reach out to us directly, whether that's Facebook, phone, or email, and we can connect you with some other options.
Is there any plans to do side ejecting in other calibers? We already hit that one.
Yep.
Perhaps in the future, we won't take that one off the FDE Micron. That's an excellent question.
That is a good question.
Yes. The first batch of Micron parts are all black, but there will be an FDE batch coming shortly thereafter. So if you order a Micron in the next couple of days, chances are it's only going to be available in black. But if you want an FDE version, that will be available, but it might be a week or two down the road.
And to clarify, you can order the FDE immediately. We just don't have those ready to go yet. So black first, FDE later. So don't let that stop you from placing your order so that you're high up on the queue there. We'll go ahead and get a hat for that question.
Oh yeah, that's a great question. Give that guy a hat. What's the difference between the HTI and the M2? They're two different rifles.
Yeah, I think
they're not even close.
So
the HTI is the big bore. The M2 is the
so the M2 is limited up to 338 Lapua, just like the A2 is, and then the HTI goes up from there, starting at 375 Chi-Tech up to 50 BMG.
Integral suppressor option for the Micron. Not at this time. Perhaps in the near future. That's another thing we won't take off the table, but at the moment we don't have anything planned for that. So, is the oppressor compatible with the Micron's Raiden flash hider? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Just like the ratchet that comes on the standard MDRX, the oppressor will go on to the Raiden flash suppressor.
And actually, so since we're on that topic, something that we didn't talk about earlier, but something that we're really focused on is muzzle neutrality. So that was one of the things that we developed in the Ratchet. It's specific to caliber, so that's why we have three: the 6.5, the 5.56, and the 308. The Raiden is exactly the same. So it was designed around muzzle neutrality, so you won't see as much muzzle rise with the Raiden installed as you would at conventional flash hider.
Correct. Going back to that question, no, you can't run smaller cartridges in the HTI. The HTI has a minimum 375 CT bolt face, so you'd have to run something that's that bolt face or bigger. So you can't run those smaller cartridges in the HTI. Translucent chutes for chamber checks. That's an interesting question. No, we don't have any translucent ejection chutes for chamber check. Interesting idea.
That is a pretty good idea.
I imagine if it was translucent, it would only be translucent for about 3 or 4 rounds, especially if it was suppressed.
That's true.
So, brilliant idea. You should go in engineering.
This is a good opportunity to talk maybe about some of the positions that we do have open here.
Okay, yeah.
We are hiring for our production staff, so that is machinists as well as assembly technicians.
Quality control
as well. You can find all of the positions that are currently available on bamboohr.com, I believe is where you would go. And again, if you can't find it, feel free to shoot us an email or reach out to us at sales, and we'll connect you with the right person to get you in touch with.
Can I purchase the Micron handguards separately? I don't think that's a problem. We should have them for sale.
Yeah, I do believe so. I don't know if it will be immediate. Obviously, our focus is going to be sending out complete conversion kits, but certainly in the future, it's a part that we have, and so we can offer that up for sale. Yes.
Very good. Let's see. So you can run. Can I run everything from 223 to 338 in the M2? Yes, that is correct.
Yep.
So if you bought an M2, you could run everything from the 223 aftermarket conversion kits all the way up to 338, or even there's aftermarket 37XE conversion kits you could run it. We want to see a close-up of the Raiden flash suppressor. Okay. Here, watch this.
Got to get it just right there.
Can you see it? So there's the flash hider. You've got 3 ports across the top. They've been drilled just the right size to keep that recoil from and muzzle rise from happening. So let's see. Anybody making a 22 long rifle compatible barrel? Not that we're aware of.
Not that we're aware of. Like I said, I know we addressed that one earlier. I think that there may be some things in the works, but nothing. I've heard whisperings.
Mm-hmm. Any additional colors that we're planning on making? Again, I don't think so at the moment. It's just black and FDE. There's plenty of good paint shops that will make it another color for you if you want one. What else? Semi-auto for SRS. Yeah, that's a no.
Nope. SRS is a bolt gun, and it will remain that way.
Yes. Does the Reflex handguard and the Micron handguard have a heat shield? No, they do not. They are just a polymer handguard. I suppose you could fashion a heat shield, but personally I'm not a big fan of heat shields because they just get hotter eventually. So, but yeah, where is Desert Tech's handgun?
Where is Desert Tech's handgun?
Good question. Just kidding. No, we don't have one. We are making a handgun. We do make plenty of hand guards if you want to buy those in the meantime. But no, we do not have.
They don't serve the same purpose.
Yeah, we don't have any handguns in the making at the moment. Aluminum handguard would be cool.
Would be cool for the MDR, I presume.
Well, since the SRS is aluminum, I would assume that's correct.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, aluminum handguard would be cool, and you would be about the 10 millionth person to suggest it, including everybody in this room. So that's something that would be nice. Who knows? It could be something we work on eventually. What else? Why can't the trigger in my MDRX feel as nice as my SRS A2? Because they're two different rifles.
Yeah. One is a battle rifle, one is a precision gun, so it's completely different. yeah, I think that pretty much
Yeah,
sums it up.
it's there's a big difference between the way they work. So it's if it was that nice, wouldn't that be nice?
It would be.
Anybody making ISBs for the M2? I just don't want the can to come out front. Yes. Suppressed Weapon Systems does make an ISB or a MSBS barrel, they call it, an integrally suppressed barrel. So Suppressed Weapon Systems does make one. I've shot it. They're great rifles or great barrels. It's pretty awesome. So if you want to get one, I would recommend them. Can you make okay. Any more questions? Go ahead and send those bad boys out.
Yeah, we'll continue to respond to the thread even after the video is done. To wrap up, I think we have a video to kind of play this off. Once again, we appreciate you guys attending and asking questions. I hope you enjoyed our little virtual SHOT Show, and we had a lot of fun getting ready for this and being here to show you guys what we've got for this year. We're excited. We hope we can continue to deliver amazing products in a timely fashion, and we appreciate your support and understanding through our delays at the moment.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Again, if you have any other questions for sales, reach out to sales@deserttech.com, or you can give us a call. We'd be happy to answer your questions. Other than that, unless Jeff has any last words, we'll just roll the features and benefits video that we have for the Micron, and we'll catch you guys later.
Yeah. Did you want to see? Did you guys notice our special guest? Call me. Okay. So yeah, let's. I think are we ready to crack?
Absolutely.
All right. So yeah, we'll roll that features and benefits video. Feel free to keep asking questions, and we'll continue to answer those. And we'll see you guys around. I'm sure we'll be in touch.
We'll be here. Where's the pizza?
Oh, yeah. Where's the pizza, David?
Where's your card?
We're getting this. So I guess we're going hungry.
Yeah.
All right, roll the video.
Cheers, guys.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are talking about a new product. This is one that we've been waiting to release for some time, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have been waiting for it. Are we actually getting that? We should. This is the Desert Tech Micron conversion kit for the MDRX. We're going to talk all about it today. Woo. So this is the Micron conversion kit installed in this MDRX right here. It is available only as a conversion kit. It is an 11.5-inch barrel, which does make it an SBR, which means it will make your MDR or MDRX subject to NFA rules. So make sure you look into that before you do anything with this. The Micron conversion kit, as I said, it's an 11.5-inch barrel. It's available as a caliber conversion kit or as a barrel conversion kit. You'll notice that this is a side eject, so if you have a side eject rifle already, all you'll need is the barrel kit, which will come with the barrel and the handguard, and then you can use the rest of the parts you already have in your rifle. If you have a forward ejecting rifle, you're going to need side eject upgrade kit, which will come with the side eject parts in addition to the conversion kit here. So we're going to talk a little bit about what makes this thing so exciting. So in addition to being more maneuverable and compact, the MDRX with the Micron conversion kit gives you better performance than a traditional styled SBR. So for an AR-15 configured in this size, you'd probably have to have something like a 5, 6, 7-inch barrel to be this short, whereas with the bullpup design of the MDRX, you can have 11.5 inches of barrel, so you get better performance, more power, and you still have that very compact and maneuverable package. The Micron is optimal for tight quarters, so if you're in vehicles or moving around in very constrained areas, you've got a lot smaller gun to move around, and you've still got the power of a rifle. It's easy to maneuver in vehicles, doorways, hallways, around obstacles and so forth. So you've got a lot of controllability here with a very small weapon. The handguard is M-LOK compatible, just like all of our MDR handguards. You've got M-LOK slots here, so you can add accessories, pick rails and sling mounts, whatever you want to put on this gun to make it more useful for your situation. You can mount weapon lights to it and so forth. The Micron comes with its own muzzle device that helps keep flash down as well as keeping the rifle on target. It's got some vents on top to keep from rising too much, but as you'll see here, it doesn't move much. This is available in the side eject version of the MDR. That makes it easier for chamber checks and easy clearing in the event that you should need it. The overall length of the barrel is just shy of 14 inches. When installed in the rifle, it makes the entire rifle only 23.3 inches long, 23.5 inches long for the entire rifle. Weight of the gun with this conversion kit installed is only 7.35 pounds, so it's a little bit lighter than your standard MDR. It comes with the same adjustable gas system as all MDR and MDRX rifles, so you'll have 6 positions of gas to adjust for. So if you're going to run it with a suppressor or any other muzzle device, you can adjust for your optimal gas setting. As you can see, it is a side eject only. So if you have a forward ejecting rifle, you will need to purchase the forward eject to side eject upgrade kit in addition to the caliber conversion kit. So we're going to take one of these apart and show you guys what all is involved in the Micron conversion kit. Much like every other MDR or MDRX, you can just pull the barrel out by loosening the barrel lock screws and undoing the lock with your tool. The neat thing about the Micron is you can pull the barrel out without removing the handguard if you need to. And then the front handguard just has a punch pin, and then off comes the handguard. This would be the barrel kit that you buy. If you already have a side eject MDRX, you can just buy the barrel kit, which will come with this and the handguard, and everything else you have is already in the gun. I'm going to show you real quick here. This is an MDRX SE, so it's already side eject. It's much easier to switch because most of the parts are already there. We do have other videos showing you how to take your forward eject rifle to a side eject rifle, how to install those parts. You can watch that video as well. The Micron conversion kit is easily installed in any MDRX or MDR rifle. If you already have a side eject rifle like this one, it's as simple as removing the handguard, loosen up your screws on the side, and pop your pin, and pop your handguard off. Then we'll remove the barrel, just like you would in any other conversion. So we'll pull a barrel out of that. Now we'll drop the Micron barrel into it. Close the bolt. We'll lock that in and torque it down. Then we can simply install our handguard, slide it in, and push the pin through. And there, we've just converted a rifle into a Micron. Alright folks, that about does it for the video today. We really hope you guys enjoyed this Micron conversion kit. It's for sale right now on our website. Remember, it is only available as a conversion kit, and it will be available in both black and FDE. Do remember, this is an NFA item once installed in your rifle, so you definitely need to do your homework on that. As always, leave us a comment below. Let us know what you'd like to see or hear about this product as well as any others. And make sure you follow us here and on all of our other social media channels. Thanks for coming along.